Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Smoking Studios for yet another live episode of the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. Tonight, we have a very good friend of mine on the show. Now, I I find this show has given me so many avenues. And by the way, thank you for everybody jumping in. Please post what cigar it is that you're smoking. And we've got a fun little giveaway tonight. We'll get into that in a bit. But let me just preface this. So, this is Kevin. Is somebody I've had on the show two times before this in the 5 years that we're on. He hasn't been on for the last 2 years, but I don't talk to him as much as I'd like to, or maybe as much as he. For all I know, he talks to me more than he wants to. I don't know. I doubt that's the case, but I consider Kevin to be a really good friend. And here's one of the things that I've always loved about Kevin. Whenever you meet Kevin or get to know Kevin, the first thing he says to you after you haven't seen him, I just talked to him 3 days ago, and we talked for a little bit of time. It's how you doing? Like he instantly like stops you. You don't care about it. How you do? Kevin's a genuine guy. He's been a genuine friend to me in this industry, and it's always an honor and a privilege to have him on. Kevin Gold, everybody, thank you so much, Kevin. It's an honor to have you on, brother. And
Thank you, brother. I love
I
coming on
truly,
here.
yeah, I truly cherish your friendship, dude, because you're one of the guys that when you talk to, you don't really necessarily care about sharing anything about. You make that, hey, how are you, like going through my divorce and everything, like, hey, how are you, how is this, how is that, and there's that genuineness, I think, that sometimes people that offer that, how are you, they want to get that out of the way so they can instantly start talking. And with you, it just, you can tell you have very good people skills, but you could also tell you are an advisor, because you definitely listen really well. So I appreciate that friendship, brother. Let's jump right in here because I want to light this thing up. And I don't think Kevin has actually refilled since TGS for this. So, Kevin, we're gonna go ahead and do the only segment of the show that we do, which is the "What Are You Smoking Tonight" segment. Tell everybody what it is you're smoking, and then you
I'm
can.
smoking my Ecuadorian Habano Toro out of American Caribbean in Nicaragua in Esteli. Ecuadorian Habano,
Now,
double Habano Banda, Ometepe Piloto, and Esteli.
and that is a go-to for me. We were talking about.
Go to for me too.
I mean, that I think that's a go-to for probably most of your clientele. It's just such a great, smooth, balanced habano. It's not super peppery like you can see sometimes inside of a habano. And then tell everybody what it is that I am smoking tonight.
So that's out of the Dominican factory, Tabacalera LNV. It's an Ecuadorian Habano with an Indonesian binder, but it's got a lot of floral notes to it. So it's got some Connecticut broadleaf in it, Dominican Piloto, and HVA 2000.
All right, hold on.
All Viso leaf, very little Lajero.
Where's the thing?
There you go. So that was for TGS.
Now, Kevin was.
But you're getting a lot of floral notes out of that cigar.
And it's yeah, you do, and it smokes great. We were talking about before the show, your Lanceros, and it's because you are a Lancero smoker, which is why your
Correct.
Lanceros always smoke so well. But before we get into that, I wasn't supposed to have these guys. Okay,
Right.
Kevin's sales rep. By the way, thank you so much, Steve Sack, for sponsoring the "What Are You Smoking Tonight" part of the show. And everybody, as always, I am washing it down with some Hidden Barn small batch. So I'm not supposed to have these. Kevin sold out and then went negative because of me. These were
that was like our private pack
bags
that we were smoking, and I gave it to you. Yeah.
No,
I sold it to you.
Your sales rep sold it to me, and then I walked up to you, and you were like,
"Oh, Melanie."
Yeah, you were like, you looked at me, you're like, how the fuck did you get those? Did you go in my bag? And I said, no.
That's right. I
said,
remember that.
The lady, I said, your sales rep turned around and said, I got 2 left. And he's like, she went in my fucking bag to get those. Because you were like, no, I don't even have any.
Yeah.
So tell everybody why this cigar was a special release. Why did you bring this to TGS? And are they going to be seeing this in the future? Everybody, this actually sold out for a Lancero at TGS. That says a lot.
So I wanted to, first of all, I love Lanceros. I've always smoked Lanceros. I've always smoked Lonsdales. I like little gauge cigars. I always have, right? When I was younger, I used to smoke Gran Habano #2s back in the day. I've always loved small gauge cigars. Not to say I don't smoke a 6x60 once in a while or a 6x52, but I love Lanceros. And we didn't have it Lancero yet out of the Dominican Republic. And I knew that in Lancero with that blend, from talking to the master blender, and I've gotten to the point now when I know if somebody wants a cigar and what they want in it, what leaves to use. That took a long time, but I've gotten to that point. So we're making a lot of special cigars for lounges around the country. Let's just put it that way. So that one, I never made a Lancero, that blend. So I wanted to make it a Lancero, like I said. And Victor De La Cruz has a Davidoff background, the master blender. The production manager at Davidoff back in the 80s when it was Tobacco Dom. And a lot of the stuff back then tasted very floral to me. So I said, do it in a Lancero. And he did a hell of a job. Great props to him. He did an incredible job on that cigar.
No, he did a really good job. And in fact, I was standing right next to you when Coop actually gave you props and said this was an incredible Lancero as well. I don't know if Coops did a review on it yet. I doubt it. I know he's very backed up, but my guess is he will be. So definitely stay tuned and maybe get a little bit of Coops knowledge on it as well. But as everybody
we're
knows,
going to add that cigar to the line now. You know, like you said, it's risky adding Lanceros.
Yes.
But our Lanceros are good. They don't get too hot. They smoke beautiful. And that's all that matters, right? If you have good rollers rolling a Lancero, you're it. So, which is one of the hardest cigars to roll.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is this? Oh, Art of Magic. Yeah, so.
That's Richard Beard, by the way. That's Richard Beard.
Yeah, Richard's a good guy. So that Lancero is special to me. I was actually going to use that Lancero and not put it out in the market, as if I meet an owner or somebody from a lounge and just hand them that cigar as my cigar. But the consumers loved it so much, I said, screw it, I'm gonna put it out in the market. So we're going to make it in a box, and we're going to add it to the line.
Okay. So when does this one come out then as official?
Maybe 90 days, 6 months, I don't know.
Okay,
but it's
relatively soon.
On a list of stuff to do.
So relatively soon, people will be able to buy this.
Oh yeah, relatively soon.
And you said this was coming out in a box, not a wrapped 5-pack.
No, it's not going to be a 5-pack again. It's coming out in a box when it comes out.
Is that a 10 count, 20 count, 13?
We haven't decided yet. I was thinking a 13 count maybe, because that's my lucky number.
Perfect. No, this, you know, we were talking about a pre-show, and everybody that watches this, that's watched this for any kind of a length at all, knows I am absolutely a Lancero whore. I love Lanceros. I'm the guy that buys boxes of Lanceros. I have them in my humidor. And like I told you before the show, it's so risky coming out with a Lancero. And I hate saying this, right? Because it bothers me, but it's so risky to come out with a Lancero outside of really a limited run. But to me, I think your clientele is trained on your Lanceros in the sense that, like, you are one of the top, in my opinion, best rolled Lanceros, one of the top Lancero rolling companies, to the point where I even said this pre-show, where if people are looking for a Lancero, I point them in your direction. I never have to be concerned. But did you purposefully try to train your clientele of Rockefeller to like Lanceros, or did you just kind of bring them along on your journey? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yes, we didn't have a Lancero out of Nicaragua in the beginning. In 2018 at the trade show, we were there with the factory, American Caribbean, and another brand. And I only made 10 boxes to test it out. I figured if it didn't work, I'll keep it. We sold 100 boxes that year. That was it. The feedback was incredible. And I kept going with it, and the cigar has done tremendous for us.
Okay, so hold on one sec. 10 boxes. So how
in a 30 count? By the way, in a 30 count box.
Okay, so that's a risk. That's big time risky
so
for
30 count box of Lanceros. We sold 100 boxes that year.
Dude, you almost double shot yourself in the foot. A Lancero in a 30 count box. Like, um,
I grew up on Wall Street. I like taking risks.
you ain't kidding, Kev. So how quick did those 10 boxes sell out? And were you instantly like, we've got to put out more now? Or did you take
So
the
I took
back
those 10
orders?
boxes. I brought one of them to the show, right? I had some other ones with us at the show, and I took orders for the 100 boxes.
Okay. I missed that part where you were selling at PCA.
No, I still have one box of the original 10 because I keep them, right? Every cigar we come out with, I keep a box and put it on the side.
What up, Kev? The commish joined us. It looks like
Actually, Commish is one of the ones who pushed me to make that Dominican Lancero.
well, I mean, commish. He's got a good finger on with inside the cigar community.
Oh, he does.
I mean, he produces a fantastic cigar, the Cigar Militia cigar from last year. I don't know.
We just made him one. He came to the DR with us and worked with us. It's a beautiful representation of the 250 years of our country.
Can you show it?
Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one in. I'll take it out and show it to you. So it's out of our Dominican factory. Kevin came down, worked with the blenders. Yeah, I'll show it to you. There it is. You guys see that?
Yep. Perfect.
Look at the work on that band.
And that's a double. Yep. It's a
Perfecto. Yep.
It's a full Perfecto. Yeah. And is that a 52?
No, it's a 51.
51.
6 by 51.
Yeah. That was close. I tried to do
you
my
were
best.
close.
I tried to do my best. So again, like you sold out that quick. Or I should say you sold 110 boxes.
At that show, yeah.
Again, 30 count Lancero boxes.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. Was that in your mind? Did you always know you were going to kind of drop another one, or were you kind of like, oh, okay, that one worked out, I'm going to keep moving forward and not try to touch another Lancero?
So I always wanted to have a Lancero out of Nicaragua.
Correct.
Ever since I got to the industry, I always wanted to have a Lancero. And so I'm like, I have to make it. And I figured for 2018 for the trade show was a good move to do it.
But you made it with the full intention of having it be a line, a line, not with the extension.
Line.
Now, if it would have failed and not sold as good, would you have still brought it out to anybody that wanted to buy it? Or would you have kind of run it as a limited run and just kind of emptied out what you had?
I probably would have just kept making it for myself.
Fair enough. You know, again, though, that's what makes the Rockefeller Lanceros, even the Rockefeller Panatellas, just the smaller ring gauges, because you yourself smoke those. And so for me, if I'm going to spend money on a Lancero, because they are so hard to roll, I like spending the money on Lanceros I know the owner smokes too, because I'm guaranteed that they're going to smoke right. And there's no corners cut.
6x60s changed to Lanceros, believe it or not. When I go into a lounge, the first thing I do is hand the owner the Lancero because it's 80% wrapper, right?
Yeah.
Most owners love Lanceros. It's just hard to sell them to the retail, to their consumers. It's very hard to sell them. But if you educate them and explain it to them and they take a risk and you get them to take a risk, they always end up loving it. My buddy outside here right now, he smokes 6x60s all day long, right? He smokes a Louisiana Bull. I don't know if that's a 6x60 or not, but he smokes my Habano 6x60. He smokes all 6x60s, a lot of LFDs, big cigars. And he came to me the other day, he goes, I got to get a box of those Lanceros because I gave him one. He said, they're really good. I said, yeah. And I've converted 6x60 smokers into them, right? Because going back to the old days of Cuba, you know, you get a big 6x60, it's a cool cigar, right? I get it. It's an extension of you. It's a cool cigar. But guess what? Lucky Luciano was smoking a Lancero.
What is it? Fidel Castro was smoking Panatellas.
Exactly. That's my point.
Well, the original cigar, this is what I try to tell everyone, like historic. I think it was in the cartoons long before it was a thing in the actual cigar world. I think the cartoons gave bigger cigars in the cartoon's mouth than necessarily were on the shelf. Like when you look at the old Mickeys, was it Pete was smoking what would look like a Gordo in the
That's funny.
70s, right? And so like I think when you hear people go, dude, Gordos really weren't around until like late 90s, early 2000s. Like
Actually, Gordos weren't around until after 2007.
So yeah, so mid to late 2000s.
That's why they fell into that category with the FDA. Like, would they still be there?
And so like,
I mean, maybe somebody made one. But.
When you look at like the history, I always tell people, dude, what did they smoke in Adam's Family? Those were the old cigars.
That was a great. By the way, that was a great show.
Yes, but those were the old cigars. Those were
I agree.
They were Lanceros, they were Panatellas, they were Coronas, and I have been told this, and I've never researched it, but if you colorize some of the older ones in the Adams Family, they're Candelas. Because they didn't age tobacco like they do now, and Candelas were cheaper for the studio to blow through boxes of as he was lighting them and throwing them out. I don't know if that's true or not.
Our next cigar coming out is Park Candela.
Hold on. Breaking news, everybody. We've got Kevin Gold just announced it. I don't think he announced it anywhere else, but we got a Candela coming out for you. So tell everybody.
So we have a Candela Camacho with Espinosa coming out.
Okay. When is this release?
Hopefully, it's been in the works for a long time, but hopefully 60 to 90 days. From what I'm hearing, most of the stuff is all finished already.
Oh, fantastic. Is this going to be a box or paper?
Yeah, the box is going to look like that. Can you see that?
Yep.
Automatic sleight of hand.
Awesome. Very nice. So yeah, dude, I gotta keep the show fun, right? Breaking news. I've got all this.
I love that. It'll be part of the Automagic line.
Fantastic. Which is the wand, which is the magician's wand that you put out 2 years
ago.
Right,
the magician's wand was a thin cigar too.
Yes.
That was a Lonsdale on steroids.
Yeah. That was what, a 44, right? It wasn't a 46. It was a
46.
Was it a 46? I thought it was a little a little smaller than that.
I don't have one with me, but yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting fact. Carl says John Aston's suit coat had an asbestos pocket for when he stuck the lit cigar into it.
That's a great idea.
Probably wouldn't want to smoke after that.
I don't know about the asbestos. Maybe a little piece of metal or something.
Hey,
but then you can't go through a metal detector.
No, but
you definitely can't walk to the airport with that.
You know what, though? I think he's still alive. I think he's in his 90s now, so clearly the asbestos didn't hurt him.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we've got your Candela coming out, and you said, I'm sorry, forgive me. What was the size of that again?
That's the surprise.
Oh, do I got to do a breaking news again?
No, don't do a breaking news again.
So, okay, so we'll see that one in about 90 days. Will that one be at Smokin'?
That's the plan, yes.
Okay. Because Smokin' carries your entire line outside of store shop exclusives, right?
Yes.
So what was let's go kind of through TGS with you. What was TGS like this year for you versus previous years? Because this year you sold out. I don't know if previous years you did. That's why I'm asking.
I loved it because a lot of VIPs knew who I was, so they came over to me right from the get-go, which was great. We have a huge following down in Florida, so that was great. And people from the Northeast was coming by to me. That was great. It was a great show for us. I love Abe is on point. I'm not blowing smoke up his ass, but he's on point every year, and it gets better every year. And he knows what he's doing when he does it. He really does. He does a good job.
Oh, he does a very good job. Well,
I'd rather do that show than the trade shows, to be honest.
Well, I mean,
you're hitting the end. Well, hold on, you're hitting the end consumer.
Correct.
Right, and by hitting the end consumer, they're going to go in the shop anyway, and that's for the cigar, so it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. And on top of it, you get to see all your friends, everyone you've known.
Oh, that's the best part. And I was with a great girl this year. This girl, fire. She was on point. Hopefully I have her next year again, which I plan on it, but she was on point. Didn't miss a beat.
No, she was very good. And again, she made you go negative. She went in your private bag.
Yeah. And Scotty was there with me, but he likes to wander a little bit, but he was there.
So obviously you're going to go back next year.
We had 2 shows that time. I sent Mark to Texas because I love doing NFG for Don. I love doing that show. It's one of my favorite shows to do, right? And I sent Mark there. Mark did a really good job.
So you had 2 shows going simultaneous, and both of them went well for. So are you now at, obviously not, you're never going to be at, knowing you're never going to be at a coasting spot, but are you now almost 10 years into this now? You're about 8 years
next
in,
year
right?
will be 10 years. We'll have an anniversary cigar.
So are you starting to feel like you're long-term into this now, as far as like Rockefeller's is kind of seated and has like a really good following, good, where, does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yeah.
Obviously you don't feel like you made it. Nobody ever really does, but you start to feel like you're getting a foothold, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so when did you start to feel you were starting to gain a foothold and become a little bit more each year into penetration within the brand?
Probably about 2 years ago.
Okay, so it took you 7 years.
Yeah, strong feeling of it. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
In that 7
years,
it's
hard, right? Because you have to balance. You have to balance life in the business, right? That's what it's all about. But this business means so much to me because I love cigars. I've always been a cigar smoker. I love the people. I love the culture. My other favorite part of the business is blending. I love having people come down to the countries with me and blending with me. That's the greatest feeling in the world. And then having a cigar come out, and then at events speaking about the cigar. Most people take a cigar to cellophane unless they're aficionado, and they don't know what they're smoking. So I want them to feel when they take it out of a cigar like they're there with me in the country. And I love going to countries like that because people are so humble. And it's really an incredible industry with incredible people. And I'm not just saying that. There's no other industry like it. We all know, right? You could sit with 10 people in the room. You don't even know them. By the end of the night, you're hanging out, having a great time. There's nothing like it.
Well, not just that, but look at what happened when Henderson burned down. Look at all the factories that came to help. Do you think?
Right.
Do you think if Pepsi was hanging by a thread, Coke would come in and influx
absolutely
them with
not
money? And in fact, Kev, you would know this better than me, but I think the last non-predatory influx of money by 2 massive companies, and we talked about this a couple weeks on the show, was Microsoft into Apple, because Apple wasn't bought out by Microsoft, but they got an influx to stay alive. Yeah. That wouldn't happen in any other industry. And I don't even know how he even got him, Steve Jobs got Bill Gates to do that, but I don't know of another company that saved its competition. But it happens within the cigar world. If you're hurting, they'll come to your help. They'll give you tobacco.
What makes it an unbelievable industry.
Exactly. Yes, there's fuckos and shitheads, but the vast majority of the industry is genuinely caring amongst itself.
Of course, because it's a small industry with good people.
Exactly. And all the reps and stuff, everything's kind of incestuous among itself, in the sense of like reps go from company to company to company, and then sometimes back to the original company they started with 20 years ago, So it took you 7 years to start feeling like you were getting a toehold. So
6 or 7 around there. 7. Yeah.
So at what point?
But don't forget, we had the pandemic during that period, though,
correct,
for a little while.
Correct. At what point in time do you think, or what's another goal of yours where if you were to hit, you'd feel a little bit more of that toehold?
Probably to go into Europe.
More. See, so I didn't know you were not in Europe yet.
No, I stayed away from Europe for a while.
Why?
We're trademarked in Europe. I just haven't gone into it yet.
Why stay away from it?
So, because I don't really have hands-on in Europe, right? It's going directly to distributors straight from our factory.
Okay. Because I always see like a lot of the smaller brands get that shot to go Europe, and they do it. They take it, And it seems like you want to build up your brand within the US a little bit more. Now, if you
Yeah, I
did
don't
go
want to spread myself too thin. Is the other thing. You know what I mean?
so if you did go Europe, would you feel like you
No,
would
we have
need
a
to hire
distributor in Europe. We have a distributor already.
no like a US sales guy to oversee all of that or
Yep. Yeah, I'd have to do that too.
and that's a huge expense.
Huge expense, and I'd have to be spending a lot more time in Europe because I have to be hands on.
Yeah, and I was told, and you don't, this is not for you to confirm, but just for everybody to kind of understand. In order for a sales rep to be justified in a lot of the cigar industry, as far as an internal, typically they're going to have a $500,000 to $750,000 a year worth of book of business within their territory. Obviously, the
Yeah.
smaller the territory, but you want the territory to pay about 5x what you pay your rep. And a good rep to keep them, you need about 100 grand, especially now. So that means that territory, just for people asking the question, how come you don't have inside sales reps? That's a $500,000 territory that they have to justify within enough states for them to even justify the expense of flights, living out of their car, hotel. Then there's also insurance and there's taxes. So that $500,000 in reality is, or that $100,000 a year, long term cost the owner probably in the $120,000 a year after taxes and insurance. Is that a fair statement?
That's absolutely a fair statement.
So yeah, that's one of the reasons why if you ever are talking with a company and you say, oh, we use brokers, that's why is they don't have that expense because it's a huge expense to have in-house. So just to justify Europe,
Or
you
you
would
could go
have to
directly
have
or you could go directly to a distributor in that area.
correct. And then but then they take a piece of it and they take a cut of it, and then you have to
That's
pay
the only issue.
different
Yeah.
commissions and stuff like that. So when you do decide to go to Europe, is this like a I would like to be in Europe by 2030? Like
Yeah,
is
by
it kind of
2030,
like
that's a
that?
good call.
Okay,
Yep.
so the next 3-4 years you want to be in there. Is there
Yeah, we're doing the groundwork now. Then we'll do the trade show in Germany. And then, yep, that's a very good call. 2030, 2028, 2030. Yep.
and the show you're talking about is Inter Tobacco, right? That's
Yeah.
the Germany show. So is Germany where you would start then? Or I don't know how Inter Tobacco
No,
works.
Spain. Spain is where I would start
Okay, no, but you're doing a Germany show. Why start in Spain?
because we have a Spain distributor already.
Oh, okay. So just an easier pathway in there.
It's an easier pathway.
So explain this to me. Inter Tobacco, is that all of Europe goes there, or is that primarily Germany?
So I've
only?
never been to Into the Back yet, but yes, a large portion of Europe goes to it.
Okay, so you
So
might
it'll be
have
an
Spain
experience for
people
me
there.
too. Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's got to be a lot of fun. So now Kevin's going to be flying back, and he's really going to rack up the miles on those flights.
Yeah.
What is it? What would be a concern of yours for going to Europe? Because they do these generational bans now. What would be a concern of yours that would maybe cause you to rethink or push back that timeline?
So I guess a big concern of mine would be exactly where I'm going to be in Europe, right? So in other words, like what states, what countries I want to hit in Europe. So in my head, I'm thinking Spain, Germany, and probably somewhere in Amsterdam or something like that.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. But again, you want to make sure that you're hitting one country at a time and not overhitting. Because if you start, like, it just becomes crazy and overwhelming if you start hitting all the countries. So I'd rather start with one country and go to the next country and go to the next country and go to the next country.
And then my guess is
too. Make the cigars in Nicaragua.
Sure.
We can make $1 million in 3 months out of our Nicaraguan factory. I'm not worried about the product.
I was going to say, so
remember, it doesn't touch U.S. soil. So it gets directly from Europe, from Nicaragua to Europe. And I'd rather go in small steps than big steps.
Well, yeah, because you also don't know their laws change at the dime of a hat, or drop of a hat.
Right.
So Spain would be your start because that's where you're going in. You're looking at hopefully 2030.
Yeah.
Enter Tobacco would be probably then 2029, probably at the latest, to make it a 2030 launch. Um,
No. I'll be into tobacco before that.
you will. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so
So I could see how everything works and learn
okay.
it.
So you would go as just to watch it. You wouldn't necessarily go as
Yeah.
to be in there. Is would the does Europe operate substantially different for you in as far as what their requirements are? Because I do know that like you have one distributor for most of these countries, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
how it works? And
Well,
you
it
don't get
depends
to
how
set
much
your
that distributor, right?
prices
All the stores buy it from the distributor, so and all the hotel lounges and everything else.
because you can't really do like cut and lights. Like it's not like it is
No,
here to that
different.
level. See, okay, everybody,
But
this
you
is
can
why we
appear, but you can appear at the hotel, or
correct,
you can appear at the lounge.
correct.
Right. It's totally different.
Yeah. And so this is why this
Yeah.
country is the best. Okay. Look
Right.
at all the Europeans coming over for the Great American Sleepover that is the World Cup. Like they're coming here, going to Walmart. Like this is be 12 different stores. We have cigar lounges that you could smoke in and do cut and lights and give swag and do just about every damn thing you can't do in Europe in our
Right.
country here. So
Everything
protect
has to be
this.
everything has to be right. It's way different.
It's so very different. So what are you doing when you're not Rockefeller Kevin these days? Because for those of you that don't know, Kevin moved down from he moved down to Florida several years back.
Yeah,
Um,
4 years ago.
so what are you doing now? Are you doing like Florida stuff now, or are you still
Well, what do you call Florida stuff? Going
well
to a
like you
beach?
deep sea
Going to a beach,
fishing?
hanging out?
Yeah, you eat deep. Are you alligator hunting yet? You swimming in the Everglades? You know,
I did all that
you got
shit
a
before I moved
tiger?
down here.
Do you have a tiger yet? Uh,
No, we have a horse though. We just bought a horse.
very nice. Yes, you were saying that. So that's a very Florida thing to do. My grandfather, born and raised, well, my dad too, born and raised in Ocala, Florida, which their motto was the land of the $1 million horse. I think they had a couple of triple crowns come out of Ocala in the last
Yep.
20 or so years. So what would you buy the horse for? Is this something that we're going to see you barrel racing? Are you going to go jockey style? Like what's the horse
So
for?
for my daughter, my daughter's, if you guys don't know, has special needs, right? And
Mhm.
I'm explaining this real quick. So equine therapy for, and she's very verbal. She's verbal, but equine therapy. Wait, hold on. This is my friend Glenn who just walked in. Here's
Hey,
a guy who's a
Glenn.
6x60 smoker who loves my who loves my Lancero, correct?
I see the 660.
Yeah. Yeah, afterwards. Anyway, so equine therapy. Apparently, the horse's heart is 5 times bigger than the human heart. And when she's around horses, she's like a different person. And my wife loves them too, but she's like a different person, and it calms her down. And it's a wonderful thing to watch and see. And I've actually gotten attached to the horse too. The horse's name is Sandy. I mean, I'd like to put a Rockefeller saddle on it, obviously, with the name Sandy on it. I kind of designed one already, but we'll see.
So you're talking about getting a custom made saddle with the Rockefeller logo like in the horn?
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. That means you got to get a picture of you on it though, right? Like you're gonna have to do some barrel racing, Kevin. We're gonna have to
Yeah, and jumping, right?
yeah, we're gonna have to do
With a cigar in my mouth.
You gotta write it into TGS, brother.
Oh, God. Abe looked at me the other day when I said I got a horse. He just gave me this look and shook his head.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yeah, when I was younger. I actually
Okay.
went on an equestrian tour to England once, years and years ago.
Explain
Yes.
what people if they don't understand what an equestrian
Equestrian
tour
is horseback riding. So we went on an English style. So we went on a tour through the Lake District of England, Grashmere over there, many, many years ago, though. I haven't been on a horse since then. My wife keeps trying to get me on a trail ride with her.
For those of you that don't understand, the difference between English and Western is a one-handed rein with a saddle horn. English is essentially you post up. You have to learn to post, which sucks if you're a guy till you get good at it. And then you essentially ride split rein, so you have full control, kind of like a steering wheel. A little bit more to it, but that's the simplicity of it. Yeah, we were talking about before the show. I did 14 summers, 13 summers at a Christian camp in Wisconsin, doing a lot of stupid stuff on horses. I've been kicked, half kicked, bit, thrown, slammed, almost landed on backwards. And yeah, I mean, we used to do a lot of dumb
I mean,
things.
I can't get away from it. It's unbelievable. I was 8 years old. I got thrown off a horse. My dad's like, get back on it. So I got back on. I can't get away from horses. I've tried my whole life. Trust me. They keep coming back.
They are so much fun, though.
I think the Lord's trying to tell me something. They just keep coming back.
Well, I had so
What? Go ahead.
at the camp I went to, we did a 125-mile. Essentially, in Wisconsin, you can go within 35 miles of camp, but because of all of the snowmobile trails, you could do like 125 miles, 130 miles within 3-4 days, right? Really easily without going
Yeah.
far from camp. Well, we got the ability to swim on a horseback, which if anybody's ever
Wow.
actually been swimming with a horse, is incredible because they actually really are great swimmers. You just take the saddle off, you just keep the bridle on, and you just essentially Superman while they swim. And then once you feel that back foot hit the ground, you kind of just sit back down on them. But they play. Their horses are really a lot of fun. They have
are a
great
lot of fun.
personalities.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it calms me down when I'm around the horse, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I was leasing a horse and they kept selling the horse out from under her, the barn. So she kept, getting really upset and sad. So eventually my wife's like, well, you're buying it for me. So I bought it for her and my daughter uses it. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. I mean, I love my wife, but I bought it. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. So does your daughter is it just the show? So she's doing the show style walking and
She's
stuff
learning
like
and
that?
she's getting really good.
Is she gonna do like barrel or rodeo?
Yeah.
That type of
Eventually
thing?
she's going to get to that. Yep.
Yeah, that's
I don't know about rodeo.
We're not gonna see her on the PBR circuit.
Maybe I'll do rodeo.
Oh, do I got to do another breaking news? Kevin's
No,
joining the
no.
PBR circuit.
I'm going to rodeo up some steers.
I think we've got Kevin's new line, the Wrangler.
There you go.
So how old's your daughter, if you don't mind me asking?
14.
14, okay. Now, does your wife smoke cigars?
Not maybe in Connecticut now and then, but she hasn't smoked in a long time.
Okay.
My son's starting to smoke cigars though.
And how old is he?
18.
18, okay. So he's starting to smoke. Does he go, hey, did you catch him like going to taking yours? And be like, no, I didn't take anything. Or
No,
was
I
he
actually
open
went with him
you?
I went with him to a cigar lounge near us and I gave him a Connecticut to smoke. Now when we're in the car, he's like, Dad, you have a cigar for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Boxes are flying off the shelf for him and his friends.
Hey, you know though, like if he's gonna
But
smoke
you know what?
something,
It keeps
the
it- by the
cigar
way,
is really not bad.
His generation, it's great that he's smoking cigars, right?
For
He's
sure.
not vaping, he's not smoking weed, he's smoking cigars.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you on that. I mean, the vaping is much worse. A lot of people have gotten really badly hurt. So no, I agree with
Yeah.
you. There's a lot worse things for him to smoke.
Don't we
So-
all know that?
So Kev,
Yeah.
put your trader hat back on.
My trader hat?
Yeah, your trader hat, your trading hat back on.
Oh, my training or my trader?
Trading hat.
Trading hat. Go ahead.
Trading. Where do you see within the commodities market gold coming in now? Do you feel like it's settling off? Is it
Yeah,
still
okay,
a
so you got me
buy?
started. So gold was due for a pullback.
Yep.
Way due for a pullback, right?
Some
Silver
free
too.
advice,
So
everybody.
here's
So
an-
listen
here
up.
we go. So here's an right. It's not advice that anyway. So silver was parabolic.
Mhm.
In all my years of trading silver, it got parabolic. It got the name Quicksilver because it catches up to gold very quickly because it's a small market.
Mhm.
Central banks and institutions buy gold, retail buys silver, right? So when gold tops out, there's a huge ratio difference, and silver's got to catch up very quickly, which it did. And then it overshot because retail got crazy with it, and it overshot. It got to like 120 an ounce, I think, at one point,
Mhm.
119. But then it collapsed again. And it collapsed because gold and silver is down now, because when you get in, gold usually tops out in April and May. And then it hits seasonal weakness. So you get to August when the Italian shade makers go back to work. Then it starts getting interest again. Then October is a dead month because of hedging. Then you got Diwali, the Indian wedding season, when they start buying gold like crazy again. Coming up to Christmas gold.
So
December gold.
Did you see?
You had seasonal weakness. You had higher rates for longer. That's going to put pressure on gold.
Did we see an increase?
I would like to see gold. Everyone's at 4,000. All the stop levels are 4,000. I would like to see gold smash through there to like 3,500, 3,200 overnight when nobody's looking. They pull everybody out of the stops, and then you buy it for a run to 7,000 because rates are going lower. Rates are eventually going lower, whether it's because a recession hits or because, who knows, rates are going lower though, right? They've been artificially up with the Iranian war. Oil's gone through the roof. It's been artificially high. Oil should bottom around 65, 70. It should stop in that area because at that area, everyone's making money, especially Oxy. Occidental Petroleum's making money at 45. There are some ones that have lower costs, right? Mm-hmm. So the point is inflation should start to really slow down. The economy has been booming from AI, but it should start to slow down. Rates are going to come down. And there's no doubt in my mind.
That's what I was going to ask.
So then gold will go back up.
So do you see gold going up, and especially silver going up above that 120 ceiling with the?
I see gold going higher. I'm not sure what silver is going to do.
Well, the reason why I asked, with all the new data centers coming out, silver and gold are in those components, or in those the GPUs that NVIDIA is producing. It's got its silver and gold. Or
I've heard that for so many years. It's bullshit. Listen to me. I've heard there's a shortage in gold. There's a shortage. I've heard it all.
I'm only asking that now because
I'm telling you, I've heard it all. Supply and demand.
More GPUs than ever.
But I get that. Computers, unbelievable. I get all that. But gold goes up when gold wants to go up. Gold goes up if there's a banking crisis. Gold goes up if there's a problem in the world. Gold goes up with lower rates because it's beyond the real rate of inflation. That's it. All this stuff you hear on, and people tell me, oh, what's gold going to, blah, 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 and they love it. And you're wrong. All these guys who come out, they've never experienced it. Gold will go up when gold's ready to go up. And it's usually, you see it in the shares first. This time was weird. When gold went from 1,900 up to 4,500, the shares didn't move. It was the greatest buying opportunity in the world for those shares. They didn't move. But then they caught up very, very quickly.
So let me ask you this. Obviously, gold cannot be created. But did you ever trade at all in diamonds or play in that world at all? And my question is, okay. So my question to you is
diamonds are cut in half because you can steadily make them. I understand
that's what I was just going to say. Like that has to drastically cut the floor out from underneath them, as far as the value,
I mean,
because the homemade ones are better.
Take Anglo gold or Anglo Ashanti. Not Anglo gold, was a South African gold a long time ago. Right, the symbol's NGLOY. They broke up the whole company. They spun parts off. Their diamond division, that was De Beers back in the day, was cut in half. So when they spun it off, it wasn't worth what it used to be worth. It's going to be very hard to synthetically make gold or silver, but who knows? Maybe someone will come. Gold is by two stars colliding. Gold's created. Maybe somebody will figure out a way to do that.
Elon will do it, and he'll be the first 10 trillionaire.
Elon is the greatest salesman in the world.
Yes, he is.
He has Tesla, which is a car company. Then he sells you the cum, right? The cum of the robots. Then he sells you the dream. SpaceX, great company, but they're losing money. Satellites, they're making money from government satellites. They go out and use that money to go buy a real company, an AI company, right? What's that? That's the actual fact. They're making what they're making on the satellites. The cum is they're going to have AI data centers in space. The dream is that we're going to land 1 million people on Mars. He's the greatest. He's brilliant and the greatest salesman on earth.
The AI data centers in space, if he could pull it off, that changes the game. That absolutely changes the game. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, so one of the problems with AI with data centers in general, is temperature and electricity. Those are the two biggest determining factors of how much it can produce and what size it can be. So what he's talking about doing is putting the data centers up in space using Starlink to have the connection point, and
Right.
using the sun as the 24-hour source of power, and then space itself as the cooling. So it fixes the two major problems that we have with data centers on
Yeah,
Earth.
you explained it better than I did. That's great. That's a perfect way of explaining it.
I'm a bit of
But
a
here's
geek.
what people don't understand. People think we're in a bubble. My opinion, we're not in a bubble. I think AI is a long-term tail. So by a long tail, that means that any of these corrections in these AI stocks, when they come down, they're buys, they're not sells.
Mm-hmm.
We might be in a bubble 2 years from now, but we're not in a bubble now.
Mm-mm.
I lived through and I traded through that .com bubble.
Yeah, and SpaceX, everybody, if you could afford it, put a little bit in SpaceX and just sit on it, because 20 years from now, that company is going to be trillions and trillions. It's going to look so. To tell everybody an understanding of what Elon just did for over 5,000 people at his companies.
So Elon took a company, SpaceX, that was valued a lot less, and he went to big billionaires to get the money. And he came out with it, but he only came out with 5% of the shares. And those 5% was valued at $2.1 trillion.
Mm-hmm. He made over 5,000 millionaires came out of that IPO.
Yeah, God bless him for doing that.
Over 5,000, and we're not talking about already wealthy people.
4,400 people became multimillionaires from it.
Correct. We're talking about custodians. We're talking about regular paper pushers. We're talking about
janitors.
Yeah. We're talking about really every common person within the company. And from what I understand, is the vast majority of those people were close to being millionaires, and now they are. So good luck to them, and better luck for it. But
when you had the gold rush, the picks and shovels where the money was made, right? So when you have so in AI, you need so much compute to run these centers. It's unbelievable, right? These AI data centers need it all. Corning's using 23,000 feet of cable every 3 days. That's why the stock went from 125 to 270, and it's pulled back.
No, yeah,
it's
insane.
All these companies, the picks and shovels. Now, here's the next question: what next? Right? Then you had the memory bottleneck. What next in AI is going to be the bottleneck, if there is another bottleneck? Or like you laid the roads down, the companies now on top of those roads are making the money, right? So the agentic AI, all the agentic stuff will now be worth money. So you got to find out what's the right company, right?
The agentic stuff is really where people's lives become easier. When you can have your own agents. And it becomes scarier the closer we get to super intelligence, or ASI, artificial
AGI, right?
Well, artificial general intelligence, which
that's another story.
Depending on which person you want to follow, we're already there, or we're super, super close. And then there's ASI, which is artificial super intelligence, which we will absolutely lose all control of AI if that point ever hits, because it'll be smarter than us. And
NVIDIA is the McDonald's of AI. There's no doubt. Every time a company starts to do something, they buy a piece of it.
Oh yeah. Well, on top of it, they're creating all the chip. They're creating all the GPUs. Like
3 years out, right?
Graphics processing units, people. That's what GPU is.
I remember when the stock was $8, nobody wanted it.
I don't know if data centers are underground in Europe, Richard. That'd be an interesting question. And if it was, it would make sense, because underground, you can keep it at a much cooler temperature versus having to cool outside ground level air. But that would be interesting. It'd be almost kind of a little bit more on the geothermal side. So, and yes, I don't know if that's true, Richard. Did the refineries stopped buying silver and the market got saturated? Is that essentially what happened?
So refineries stopped. Correct. Okay. So what happened was, refineries where they normally turn it out in 2 to 3 days, it took them weeks to turn it back over, right? So they were buying it and they weren't giving prices. They were not telling them anything. So people were stuck with silver. That was one of the things that did happen.
Well, guys, if you could afford it, buy silver, buy your Bitcoins too. Buy some of the cryptos. Don't go crazy. But there are some really high quality, like been the more you know segment with Kevin Gold.
I know nothing about crypto. I'm an old school guy. I don't trade crypto. I don't get involved with it. There's no free cash flow.
No. But so I do have a lot of friends that became crypto millionaires.
Yeah, me too. But more power to them. Absolutely. It reminds me of the Wild Wild West back in NASDAQ in the 1980s.
Totally. Very little to zero regulation. Everybody coming in and doing everything that they wanted. Yeah. But all right, like I said, this has been the more you know segment with Kevin Gold on the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. We do have a question here from Richard. He wants to know, he wants you to talk about where the artwork for the art of the magic boxes came from.
So originally Jesse Flores.
Okay, so hold on. Abe Flores?
So Jesse Flores used to work with Drew Estate, designed the art of magic with Aganuesa.
Was that Abe? Any relation to Abe Flores?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who started subculture for Drew Estate back in the day.
Okay.
Right. And we don't know where he is. He vanished. So
thanks for watching.
So that was the first one. The second one he designed was Cardition. Cardition was about a guy named Edward Marlowe, who was an expert in card magic. But Edward Marlowe had something in the back of Schulian's on the north side of Chicago called the Cigar Deal. And I was fascinated by it. He would use the cigar to hide what he was doing and fool magicians. The third one was the magician's wand that looked just like a wand. And the fourth one's very special because the artist is my wife. Yeah.
Okay. Does she smoke that one though?
No. The artist of the next box, my wife did.
Yeah, I know, but does she smoke that cigar?
No one smoked that cigar yet except me and Hector at Espanola.
Oh, I didn't know if you gave your wife one and she got the inspiration for kind of how it made her feel type deal. Okay.
My wife's very artsy. I'm very business, and I wanted her to do a box. It's been a long time coming, but it's finally coming soon. And yeah.
Well, everybody watching the show, we are doing a giveaway tonight. We're going to do 3 cigars, dealer's choice, or Kevin could say which 3 he wants. 3 cigars and the Rockefeller hat. My guess is that Rockefeller hat that you're wearing.
Yeah, these are the new ones. It's either this or a blue and white one, but yeah.
So all you got to do, really simple. No hyphens, no spaces. Rockefeller. That's it. That's all you got to do. Just type Rockefeller within the comments section. No hyphens, no spaces, and you will be entered to win the drawing. We'll do the drawing here a little bit closer to the end of the show. So if you're watching, Kevin will ship it to you directly.
Just give me the address. I'll ship it over.
We'll have to get the address and he'll ship it over to you guys. All you got to do is just type in Rockefeller within the comments, and that's it. All right. So, Kevin, getting into this years ago, did you ever expect you were going to have this much fun?
I kind of knew that, like, the cigar industry is a fun industry. It's a lot of work, but it's a fun industry. Because I used to hang out at cigar lounges all the time. And I had a lot of fun. So, yeah. I was hoping it was this, yeah.
But did you know that you were, like, what was that like for you when you first started seeing a following on yourself? Like, were you shocked?
I felt great, oh my God. I felt the cigar that I made that everybody loved. So it made me feel really good inside.
And what was the first cigar you had? Was it the Habano where you started to really see traction as far as your cores?
The Gold Series.
The Gold Series. Okay.
The box press. Yep.
Yeah. Again, everybody, type in Rockefeller into the comments and you will be entered in for your opportunity to win the new hat and 3 cigars. All right, let me just see here. Let me just make sure that all registered in. Let me see. Yep. All right, there we go. Marshall, go ahead and type in the word Rockefeller. Well, you know the drill. When you see everyone typing in all the same words, you better type in the same word too, and you will be entered in for that drawing. We'll do that drawing here in a little bit. So when you decided to get in, what was your like? So I'm going to ask the question a little differently. Did you dive into this industry wholehearted, or did you dip into this industry and realize that, oh, I actually could pull this off? Does that make sense?
So I've always loved cigars. Originally I was going to buy a cigar lounge,
Mm-hmm.
right by Barclays in Brooklyn, but the price was ridiculous, and he wouldn't go down. And actually, months later, he called me and said I would have sold it to you at that price. So then I said, I love cigars. So the next thing I know, I became partners with someone, 50% partners, and I bought the rest of the brand.
But was your heart 100% in it from the beginning?
Yeah, I love cigars. 1,000%. I love
Did you
cigars.
buy it as like an
I'm not
investment?
getting involved in anything unless I want to be involved in it.
So you never tried.
We have a saying on one of our statements: Rockefeller Cigars, get involved. We're not getting involved unless you know what I mean. I'm not going half-ass on anything.
Because I know you originally
be halfway pregnant.
Well, no, I know you originally bought out your other partner, but you never intended. Like, did you always intend to go full steam into this the way you have, or did you kind of go, let's see where it can go, and then you were like, holy shit, this is actually going to take off. Let me do.
So here's what happened. So while it happened, the FDA came out with their rules as soon as I bought the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that before I actually paid for the company and bought it. I knew that. I knew the rule was out there. And I was like, oh, I'm fucked, because 90% of my expenses were legal expenses when I first bought the brand, registering the product and everything else. I didn't half-ass it. I trademarked everything. I registered the brand. I did it the right way, right? So I had to be firm on the ground. So they got rid of the packaging rule. Once they got rid of that, I'm like, fuck it, I'm in.
So that was the
roll the dice. Let's go, baby. I'm in.
So that was your really only kind of hiccup in it, was the deeming rule.
That was a big hiccup coming into the industry.
Massive hiccup. I mean, you're talking about putting a wall in front of you.
Yeah.
So once
that, but I like walls in front of me.
You were a trader. You were used to that. You know, I mean, you had to.
I'm used to being in the trenches. Correct.
Yeah, you're a fighter in that. The commodities world is not for the faint of heart. So how much of kind of how you ran, like, let me put it this way. In your business plan for Rockefeller, have you hit goals faster than you expected?
In the beginning, no, because of the legal fees, but after that, yes.
So when did you really start hitting your goals? How far into that? 7 years, 6, 7 years.
I started in 16, boom, 19. We were hitting goals really hard, and then the pandemic hit. Okay. Then the pandemic hit. And then we even killed it more because we were selling more online.
Correct. Right? Okay, so
I think at the time we were only using Atlantic, and we were killing it. Right? So everybody wanted to smoke. They were smoking 7 times the amount, and then it fell off a cliff. And then I had to refigure it out again. But I was prepared for the pandemic, because when we were going to Vegas that year, everyone was wearing a mask, and I didn't know why. Right? I had no idea why. I knew something was going on, and I called Nicaragua as soon as I landed. I said, quadruple, triple the inventory. So we had product when nobody else had product.
Okay. So it's a good situation.
When Ortega in 2018, when I really didn't work with the Dominican factory, in 2018, there was rising up you remember that in Nicaragua and Esteli, everyone was rising up. Boom! I went right to that Dominican factory, so I had Plan B just in case.
Again, seeing the writing on the wall.
Artsy's great, right? Artsy's great, designing boxes, boom, boom, boom. But it's a business. And you have to have every step taken as that business to prepare for the fucking worst that could absolutely happen. And in this industry, anything can happen. So you have to be prepared. Our cigars are made in Nicaragua, right? And Dominican Republic. Weather can happen. Anything can happen at any time. You've got
including
to have backup
government.
plans and be prepared.
Yeah,
Period.
including government. Government could happen anytime too.
Well, I didn't want to mention that, but yes, government can happen anytime.
Absolutely, whether it's ours or theirs, it doesn't
Right.
matter.
Right.
So JJ asks here, Kevin, can you share your strongest markets that you're in?
My what?
Strongest markets in the U.S.
Texas, Florida, New York, Northeast.
Okay, so California, Colorado, Arizona.
I'm
Those
not
are.
in California. I was in California a little while. I decided not to do California yet.
It's expensive to do it. I mean,
Not expensive. It's got a lot of regulations.
Expenses. Regulations to me means money.
Okay.
But why? How are you penetrating into Arizona? Because Arizona, PA, Texas.
That's my next
Florida.
market.
Okay.
That's my next market.
So are you going to be out there then yourself? Or are you working with?
No, I'm going to be out there myself.
You're going
I'm
to
be out
there
there myself, meeting everybody. Yeah. That's going to be my next market. It's funny you said that.
Well, that's
it's a very
huge
it's
cigar.
By the way, it's a very good market.
It's massive. I mean, PA, Texas, Florida, Arizona. Like I've heard that Arizona is like the
Arizona is
largest
really coming on
for cigars. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you have a lot of people from, everywhere that doesn't like cigars that can afford to move there. They move there and they can smoke cigars really cheap. So when you start a new state,
I haven't been able to penetrate the Midwest yet. That's a tough market, but I'm working on it.
Again,
I have to find the right person.
Heavy regulation area.
Well, Midwest doesn't have that much regulation. Not
Illinois.
Like
I think of Midwest as
California.
Illinois.
New York does, but I'm from New York. I love New York.
Yeah, I went to the was it the Monte Cristo? Juan, if you're still watching, what lounge did you tell me to go to? It was like I think the Monte Cristo lounge, was it? I don't know.
You guys in New York, you should definitely go to Casa Monte Cristo.
Yes,
on 53rd Street in New York, because my boy Ralph is there. He's the greatest guy in the world, nicest guy. He'll take care of you. He's a general manager there. Good people.
So when you
and my friend Harry, who's in Bayside, has a little 900 square foot lounge that has got unbelievable inventory. You can walk through that humidor and find stuff you never even knew existed. It's like a treasure chest of cigars.
Those are always fun. It's like antiquing cigar style. So Kevin, walk everyone through, since you haven't been in Arizona. You're really
one of the trade shows I was in Arizona, and I went through a bunch of lounges.
Well, you're really well thought out, and your approach, like you're methodical and meticulous in your approach to things in business. We talk privately. I know that about you. What do you start first in researching a new territory? How do you decide? Obviously, it's got to make sense. Sales. So yes, the population, everything in the lounges, all of that Arizona fits. So when you go into a new state, where do you start first, and kind of tell everybody a little bit about your process?
So I probably start with the first distributor, the biggest distributor in the area. And then when I find out who that distributor is, I'm just throwing it out. I know who it is, but I go in Arizona, I'll go to the distributor first, and I'll go to the bigger lounges first and see where their head's at, right? Some line, then we'll go to smaller lounges. But some lounges, if I walk in that lounge and I don't see any boutique brands, maybe our cigars don't fit in that lounge. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to throw something against the wall that's not going to stick. It doesn't make any sense. So I'll spend a lot of time going to the smaller brick and mortars too, because to me, that's the blood of the industry. That's the love of the industry. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And mom and pop shops to me are very important. So then I'll go back to the distributor and say, hey, we hit these shops. Can you, how do you deal with these shops? Or I'll deal directly with those smaller shops. But first I'm going to go into the shops and see what goes on. And exactly the trend that's taking place in that state.
So do you then, like,
I try to catch trends and watch trends, just like in Wall Street.
Do you care so much when you're going into a new territory, a new shop? Do you care too much about like the numbers they're moving for, or does it mean more to you to have a tobacconist that cares, that will move the product? Obviously, If they're not moving anything, it's
It
not
means
helpful.
it means to me to have a tobacconist in the humidor who's going to move the product.
Okay, so for you, that's more important.
And I'll sit and train them. I don't care.
So when somebody says to you, I got your stuff. I don't worry about the tobacconist. I could move 30, 40 boxes a year. So would you take a risk on that?
Absolutely not. I'll find the right rep that can handle it.
Okay.
That will move them the back. Yeah.
So why go through a distributor if you can
Because
directly
I want to see the
yourself?
cigars that are actually selling in that area.
And a distributor will be that upfront with you and honest?
No, but I'll ask them straight out.
You still ask the question.
Why not? You don't ask, you don't get, right?
That's very true. That's very true. So when you
I'll find out what's moving in that area, and that'll give me everything I need to know.
So when you go into a new state, like for instance, Arizona, say there's 30 shops in there, what would be a successful penetration for you off the get-go? And again, just throwing numbers out. Just say there's 30 shops.
Probably first, I just want to meet everybody, right?
Okay.
And then probably the next time I'm there, sell.
Okay, so you're not going in there, I'm Kevin Gold from Rockefeller, buy my stuff. You're going in there, I'm researching, getting the feel of it, and then I'll come back after I pick my shops out.
Similar to AI data centers. I was doing an event in Texas. I met a guy who builds them. So I asked him what he's using in those data centers. The best information you get is not from sell-side analysts, is by being in the field, by talking to people and getting the feedback. That's the best information you get in any industry.
So
period.
How much are you in the field doing cut and lights, doing events on average a month right now?
Down here a lot. In Florida with me a lot.
So you're primarily doing most of your events in the Florida area. Are you traveling around the country?
Yeah, no, I was in Texas recently. Yeah, I was in Texas. I'm going to West Virginia, Atlanta, and New York, and Dominican Republic and Nicaragua next month and a half.
Okay. So when do you think, and for anybody watching that lives in Arizona, when are you looking to maybe start that market?
Probably when I'm done with these trips, I'll start heading out there.
And then how
Maybe
long?
5 to 6 months.
So how long between your first trip would you consider a success to open up the first shop?
3 months.
Okay, so
more than one. By the way, more than one, not just one shop.
No, correct. But your first shop you want to see open within that 3 month mark.
Yeah.
So you again, this is interesting because you're playing a little bit more of the long game. You're playing a little bit more of the research game.
Oh yeah, you guys
making sure trees, versus a pump and dump strategy that some companies do take.
Right, I'm not one and done. You got me. You're stuck with me.
Okay, so
I'm only leaving if you throw me out.
So then, what makes a lounge a Rockefeller lounge versus what doesn't? Outside of them having boutique cigars or not, that's obviously the big a big non-negotiable. But like outside of that, what would keep a lounge out of your book, out of your playbook?
If they're not going to help me sell.
Okay, so you're looking for a partner with.
I'm looking at a partner in every retail lounge you're in. I'm looking for a partner. Correct.
What does that mean to you? Does that mean there's one person in there? Does that mean that they're actively pursuing your stuff and pushing it? Everyone's got different definitions.
No, it actually means that like he's in there. He knows my product. I've taught him my product well, and he's selling my product.
So he's not just going.
If I have to go there and do an opening event, that's fine. And then find a rep in the area that's going to keep it going. Yeah.
So you want the guy that's going to go, hey, want something new, or you want the same old, same old?
Yeah.
You want something, what do you like? You like this? Cool. If I've got something that's similar to this, would you be interested? You want that interaction with the clientele.
And if they take the product, then they get the limited editions. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So
we help each other.
Of course.
Swag, whatever they need.
So when you say they take the product, they get the limited edition. So you don't have a minimum buy-in, and if you do, you don't want to share that. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm
But
not going to share.
but if they carry the product, then they get access to the limiteds.
Yes,
They can't
they carry
start
the
with
line.
the limiteds and only
No,
be okay.
no.
So that makes sense too, right? So you're not
Yeah.
again, you're doing things that's a lot more methodical than some other brands where you want a limited, sure, I'll give you the limited, but that hurts the brand when
I
you
would never
give a
do that.
limited.
I did that once. It was the biggest mistake. The guy's a really good friend of mine. I'm not going to say where it is, and we actually sold a lot of boxes that night, but it just didn't work out. So no, I don't do that. And I told him that time I'm not doing that.
So, what is your biggest fear within this industry as a business owner over the next several years from what you've seen so far?
If they start regulations hard again.
Now,
I mean, our product's registered, but still, nobody wants to go through that again.
now, how much are you concerned with generational bans? That I think
So
Hawaii, New York, and I think California are 3 states trying to push generational bans right now.
it's fucking ridiculous. Tobacco's been around since forever. It's absolutely insanity, in my opinion.
First cash crop this country ever grew.
You know, I mean, Generation Z really doesn't smoke cigars. Latino, they do. In the Latino families, they do. But in the American families, not as much. It's $1 million question. How do you catch Generation Z to become cigar smokers?
So why do
It's
you
not-
think they're more into that vape stuff over actual tobacco that's actually has flavor to it instead of produced flavor? Like where's
I don't know why they say home. Why they have the mindset? A lot of them they don't want to work.
okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a good question.
Do you see like do you ever see generational bans actually passing in your state of New York?
Yeah. In Northeast for sure.
Really? As
Yeah.
an actual now, I think that they would be found unconstitutional.
Yeah, it depends who the president is at the time, right? We're not getting political, but yeah.
No, just strictly talking what the SCOTUS makeup is. And it's viable that you would say that it is absolutely unconstitutional to have a
It is just
generational
like
ban.
not being able to bear arms is unconstitutional.
Correct. Oh yeah, I right here. I take the Second Amendment, and again, not naming names or political sides, but I take the Second Amendment to where I live in a state where there's like 5 military bases. I should go to a military base once a month and go to a garage sale. If I could drag it, drive it, or fly it home, it's mine.
Yeah, no, listen, I get it. I completely understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. I'm a big Second Amendment person, so yeah.
So what has been some of the what has been
Who the hell cares if you smoke a cigar? Kid goes off to the military at 18 years old.
Well,
And you
dude, I
can't
live in Colorado.
It's ridiculous.
Okay?
I
I don't have a problem with people smoking pot at all. Not at all. Okay? Not even in the slightest. But you can't go to Denver without smelling pot everywhere. And the second somebody smells tobacco, it's my asthma. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. I've always said this. Like, Kevin and I used to deal with this a lot with YouTube. If I would switch up my show and become the Rocky Mountain Weed Show, I would never get nailed on YouTube. I'm nailed on YouTube because there's tobacco in my show.
It's ridiculous.
It's absolutely asinine, dude. So
ridiculous.
Where do you see the pendulum eventually swinging back? Like maybe it skips a generation and then tobacco comes back, or do you see it staying, to one side for maybe longer than we want?
I mean, they're always going to try to regulate us with tobacco, so just like they trying to regulate firearms, they always try to do that. So I have no idea. I'm not scared of it. I have no idea. If it happens, I'll fight it. But your guess is as good as mine. Right now, it's good. We had some good victories. We'll keep it at that, right? We'll see where we go.
So what has been some of your favorite reasons you moved to Florida outside of no more cold?
When we go back to political, we don't want to talk about politics on here.
No. Well, you know what you could say. You know what you could say. A little bit more freedoms without getting political, because
We have a
you got
lot
little
of
bit more
freedom.
freedoms.
We have a lot of freedom. I'm an hour and a half from the Dominican Republic. I'm 2 hours and 20 minutes from Nicaragua. I can hop on a plane anytime. If there's a problem, I can catch it before it happens. My warehouse is down in Miami. It's right here near me. I'm actually probably going to move the warehouse up north because I live in Boca Raton, so I'm probably going to move it up north so it's closer to me. And probably make a man cave out of it so my friends can hang out and smoke. You know what I mean?
I know where I'm coming next.
Yeah. But seriously, that's why I moved to Florida.
So
I'm tired of I'm also tired of shoveling snow. That's not happening anymore.
That's not happening in Florida. That's absolutely not happening in Florida. So I have this might be a silly question for you, but just curious. Have you ever gone to the DR by boat?
No.
I know, what is it? The DR is only like what, an hour and a half?
An hour and a half by flight. Yeah.
But isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
maybe 2
quick.
hours by boat.
It's not far, right?
No, I thought about doing it. I just haven't done it yet.
Kevin didn't take his yacht out yet, guys. To the
yeah.
Kevin's out there in the John boat. All right.
A rowboat, whitewater rafting.
He's got a little troller. He's got a little trolling motor. No, you're 100% right, Richard. Tobacco built this world and built this country, but also pretty much built this world. If you look at a lot of the major cash crops, trading and everything, tobacco has been massive since the dawn of man, or close to it.
No, it's ridiculous. It's forever.
And you moved directly from New York, right? Like you were in the heart, you were in the Big Apple.
No, so I grew up in Manhattan. I lived in Long Island. I moved back to Manhattan, then I left and went back to Long Island. I lived there until I left. Yeah.
So I will say the trade system, I would have gotten so fucking lost if Apple Maps didn't actually tell me when to get off.
The train, it's a grid.
It is easy. It's easy when you're used to it. But my first time there, I was like, I had no idea. It's like take the 4 or the 5, go to this one, the 7 or the 8, go to this one. Apple just told me to get off here. Like it was a little confusing, but my God, New York is very expensive. That's another massive savings, is moving to a state like Florida. It just costs less.
Yeah, it's like the 6th borough of New York down here, though.
It's like what?
It's like the 6th. I'm sitting in a cigar lounge. I'm smoking a cigar, and this guy walks up to remember me. I go, "Who the fuck are you?" Not the curse, but who the fuck are you? So he's like, "Oh, I went to high school with you." I try to be incognito, sitting where I'm sitting.
But you know what though? Like,
again, it was cool.
It's got to be like a fun experience though, to be able to go to all these different places that you've been.
Yeah, that I like. But what I'm saying is, when I'm incognito and I see a guy from 30 years ago, I don't even know who he is.
But that's kind of like that's like kind of like my point though. Like for somebody like you, who's very personable, very outgoing, very friendly to talk to have people come up to you and go, "Hey, I remember you." But like, you might not remember them, but like, you had a poignant spot where they're like, "I remember you." You didn't just like, "I think I met you."
Yeah, I don't want to remember my high school years. Let's put it that way. Who knows if the guy's going to take out a gun and shoot me?
That's true, but in Florida, you could shoot back.
Right. Well, that's true.
Another big reason to be in Florida. But are you a fisherman at all? No,
I've never really. I mean, I used to fish in Long Island, but I haven't fished in a long time.
But you're not into like the deep sea side of life, or just getting
we did that. So we used to do that off the shelf in Montauk. We used to rent out Canyon Runner and go out there and go out deep sea fishing. It was fun.
But you didn't. You haven't done that in Florida yet.
No, I haven't had time. I guess if I had time, I would do it.
So what do you do just to turn off?
Smoke cigars.
Okay,
with my
so
friends in the cigar lounge.
okay, so again, like that's a through and through then, because you hear a lot of the people in the industry like, I don't really actually ever get to really smoke a cigar. You know, I
I
feel
like
like I'm
sitting
always
by myself
on.
sometimes. You know, it's funny. My friends go, "Where are you?" I go, "Oh, I'm at this lounge," and they're like, "Oh, you want us to come by?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." I like to sometimes just sit by myself and smoke a cigar and relax.
So smoking cigars, so you're not jaded in the industry enough to where a cigar isn't still a personal experience for you.
What do you mean?
Meaning, you hear some
What
people
was
go, "Oh,
that
I
comment?
smoke."
Kevin was it? Wait, someone just wrote Kevin was a genius broker. What was that?
No, he says, Bruce asked where you were from, and he had heard me say that you lived in New York.
Oh, okay.
And then Richard said you were a genius broker in New York.
Right, trader. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, trader,
because
not
they're
broker.
popping up. I see them keep popping up.
Yeah.
I can't catch them that fast.
But like, I mean, what was I asking you?
I forgot.
What is some things though that you do outside of cigars? Like what is Kevin without cigars?
I spend a lot of time with my kids.
Okay, so
When I can.
you
I'm a father. Yeah, when I can be around my kids, it balances out my life. Like I was saying earlier. Yeah.
so
The other thing I like doing is traveling. Right. So sometimes when I travel, even though it's for cigars, I like just going to see different places and explore.
is your son
And the
are
other thing I'm doing is always watching the market, right? I'm always watching the stock market.
of course,
By the way, that relaxes me.
I'm
Most people
sure.
it stresses out, down or up. Down,
does.
it really relaxes me though.
It does. It
I'll stay
does.
up till 3 o'clock in the morning and research stuff. That relaxes me.
Okay. Okay. Are you a big computer
It's in my
screen
blood.
person?
So what?
Are you a big computer screen person? You got like 5 or 6 screens, everything's on type
No, like
deal?
I have Anthropic. I have like my AI
Okay.
agentic agents.
Sure.
I created one, so I'm telling my wife the other day. I'm working with Melissa right now. I can't talk to you. She goes, "What?" Yeah, Melissa's my agentic AI agent that creates that stock list for me every morning based on what I tell her, and it sends me an email every morning.
Okay. So, where are some of your favorite places that the cigar industry has given you the ability to travel to? Obviously, within the U.S. primarily, but you could obviously talk about outside as well.
I love Texas. If I didn't live in Florida, I would live in Texas.
Why?
I just like it. The people, the food, it's genuine. I found very good, genuine friends in Texas. I
Where
just enjoy it. Open land in some areas. I love Fort Worth. If I had to pick a spot, Fort Worth or Dallas. Probably
where
more Fort Worth than Dallas.
where is a place you were surprised cigars took you to?
That's a good question. Maybe Minnesota.
Okay. Okay. Are you talking like Twin Cities or are you talking like outside?
Minneapolis.
Okay. Twin Cities. Was that the first time you
Chicago.
were
I
in
grew up
Minnesota?
going to Chicago my whole life, so not Chicago.
Was that the first time you've been to Minnesota then? Was with cigars?
No, I was there for another reason, but we won't
Oh,
talk
okay.
about it.
That's fine. Breaking news again? Should I do the breaking? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so where would you like to see? Where is the place that if you were able to go anywhere in the world with cigars, where would you want it to take you?
First thought, it's a tough, maybe Singapore.
Okay, Asian country. Fantastic. I'm right there with you, man. Japan, I know it's not Singapore, but Japan is my bucket list country, hands down.
Singapore, for some reason, has always been my bucket. Maybe because a lot of money, a lot of gold is in that country.
Okay. Okay.
When the vaults got filled up here, a lot of people sent money, gold into Singapore. It's a
Is
very rich country. It's like Luxembourg.
is
There's a
Singapore
lot
a
of,
tobacco country though?
no.
No, there's not a
But
lot of.
I'd still like to smoke a cigar in Singapore. I'll probably
For
get
sure.
locked up.
Oh,
Did
okay.
that
So
guy
they're
get
that
whipped?
strict.
Did that guy get whipped for chewing gum or something and throwing it on the floor years ago?
I don't know. I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
Yeah.
Wow.
Singapore, Japan, somewhere over there.
Yeah, I would love to do Japan. I think Japan's pretty good with cigars.
And
from what I
Australia too.
understand. Australia's pretty strict on cigars, from what I understand.
Yeah.
But Australia would be a fun one to go to too. If you had a bucket list place of where to go, just a place of where to go in general, where would that be outside of cigars?
Iceland.
Iceland. Okay.
Never one. I always wanted to go.
Why? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I always wanted to go. Heard about that hotel built out of ice, and I always wanted to go.
Yes. And Iceland, for those of you that don't know, is actually more green than Greenland.
Yeah, Reykjavik. Yeah.
From what I understand, at least. So, Kev, where do you see your next big penetration with Rockefeller? Is it Arizona? Is that going to be your next big state you're working on?
Midwest.
Okay, so you're dead set on now. When you say Midwest, are you talking
Ohio,
like
Chicago,
Indiana,
Ohio,
Indiana
Illinois,
down?
Indiana. Yep.
Indiana down, and then up to Mississippi down. Yep. Okay, so Indiana, Iowa, Ohio, that type of thing. Iowa's got some really good barbecue too, by the way. If you ever been to Iowa, I got somebody out there. You can go. I'll set it up. You go hang out with Mo Cason, and he's a world champion pit boss, pit master, I should say.
That's what I love about Texas too, the barbecue.
Oh yeah, well, so Mo Cason, do you remember the old Pitmaster show on like TLC where they would do like the barbecue competition? So Mo Cason, yeah, so he was the big black guy. He's lost a lot of weight, but he's a good friend of the show. We do a yearly
that's awesome.
Red Meat Lovers cigar. So if you head out that way, let me know. He's a big cigar guy. I'll set something up for you, and you can go out there and try some of his food. I haven't even met him in person yet, but so where are you now dead set on Florida's your last move? You're staying there. You're not going anywhere.
No, if I moved, it was Texas. That's it.
Okay. Do we see like a second location maybe in Texas for you?
No, not in the near future.
So when you move to Florida, you have young kids. I have a daughter now. Going through this divorce with my wife, one of the things we're doing is trying to pick out schools and just getting some advice. You have kids still very much in school.
My daughter's homeschooled by my wife.
Okay.
My son's gonna be going to FAU next year.
Okay.
To college.
And do you see him coming into the cigar business with you?
I mean, maybe not right away, but maybe later. Yeah.
Now,
he's dead set he wants to be a lawyer, so
that would be a very valuable tool to have in your belt.
1,000%.
I'll give you a box of cigars. Give me some work for So okay, so he wants to go into law school. So would you require, like, if your son or daughter came into this program or into the cigar world with you, would you require college first?
Yes.
Why? I'm just curious. I don't think you're wrong.
My son. So by the way, so it's funny. My son says to me, "I don't need college. In our family, we're entrepreneurs. We could just figure it out." I'm like, "Good attitude. I like that, but you're going to college."
So why college? I'm just curious.
Because I feel like they should have a degree if they can.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And experience that world, meeting people. And again, I never went to college. I went right into Wall Street. But I my wife's also got me talked into it. She went to college. She went to Syracuse. So I feel like college is good for them.
It was also totally different when you went into Wall Street.
And they want to do something else afterwards, that's fine too.
It was also totally different when you went into Wall Street than today.
Yeah.
If you're going to do Wall Street, you're going to do trading. You need a degree. It would be super hard to do it to the level you did today without a degree.
I used to get phones thrown at me on the desk. Yeah, I know.
Explain that. What do you mean?
So if I picked up a phone and I fucked up a trade, the trader would throw the phone at my head. So I had to duck. By the way, we could smoke in the trading room back in those days.
So I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I know it was a different world, but how much of Wolf of Wall Street was what you lived in, aesthetically, scenario-wise?
I mean, the midget stuff is all true.
But were
Small
the
people.
trading floors
Not midgets.
really?
I'm sorry, small people.
Were were the trading floors really to the level they showed in the movie, where they were like that
pretty
loud,
much.
that aggressive?
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, did you ever
Again,
work?
again, that was a retail operation. We weren't retail; we were wholesalers. That was a retail operation, but we were screaming. So when there were no computers, you were posting pads and following the volume of every stock. And there's an old saying: "Volume precedes price." So we would take down the volume and follow the volume of every stock, and they were screaming. I saw one guy almost throw a guy out the window. There was another guy who had a heart attack on the floor. Nobody even noticed him because they're yelling over money. And then finally I said, this guy's dying. They're like, oh shit. Because when people's money, the greed is so intense. So I got to see greed and fear like nobody else has seen if you've never been on a trading desk back then.
Jesus. So,
and greed is crazy. Greed is crazy. To actually watch greed in front of you is an intense situation.
Okay, define greed and how you're using it.
So greed basically is you're up a lot of money, you don't know when to sell it, and you keep wanting more and more and more, and then the whole fucking thing falls out of bed, you lose it all. That's greed. Or when people reach, right? All right. There's two scenarios. I don't know why I'm getting into this now, but there's two scenarios. You have two lines, let's say, right? When you get above the top line and you keep going and going and going and going, that's greed. Eventually, because you feel like you're missing out, FOMO, you're going to reach. And when you reach is when you're really supposed to be selling into that reach. And on the opposite side of this is fear. You start going down and down and propelling down, and you own it and you're scared. But when you get that feeling in your stomach like you need to sell that stock and puke it, you have that gut feeling like you have to sell it, that's the bottom. If it's a real company, you just got to hold through that tough feeling. And then eventually it reverts back to the mean this way, reverts back this way. And in between here is just day trading. And all those people eventually lose because that's gambling.
So do you think that's what's given you the stomach for the cigar industry? Because it's very 1, hard.
It's also given me the stomach for being married, but yeah, no kidding. But yeah, 1,000%.
Because it's the cigar world.
My wife better not be watching this.
Well, the cigar world is a scary world. It's a scary industry. It's in the sense that it could take you years and years to develop, and having those stones to kind of weather out stuff kind of can separate.
It's very stressful people at times. Absolutely.
So how do you manage that stress as a business owner going through this?
This too shall pass. Just do what you can do, put in the work, and good things happen.
What do you do to hedge your bets?
So when I get up in the morning, I expect I'm going to have 30 problems. Anything better is a good day.
Okay. How do you hedge your bets in this industry?
What, on tobacco?
How do you hedge your gambling risk? How do you weigh your risk with inside of the cigar world for you as a business owner to decide to take a jump or to hold?
Based on the potential of that region. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So you look at more of what
remember,
could
tobacco is better than money in the bank.
Explain.
It only goes up.
So the tobacco you're holding on to is what you're essentially saying.
It's liquid. It's like gold. Yeah.
So at what point in time do you, from Kevin Gold's business, as far as like your ability to cut off something that's dead, how quickly do you do that? Or do you let something sit on life support?
So it's like a stock. So it's like a stock. There's a stop loss, right? Correct. When it gets too much, I'm out.
But is your ability to weather the storm greater than some, and because of that you have a better success, or do you see the writing on the wall and get out early? Does that make sense?
So I see the writing on the wall and get out early.
Okay. So that's a very good thing to have.
Like we were in selling one product, one size, I'm out. That's it. Sell the rest, gone. I'm not gonna keep going back. It's the definition of insanity. You keep going down the shit. And if it comes back, I'll come back with the product. I don't care.
So you're quick to remove something if you feel it's
and I learned that on Wall Street. Yep, it's trend. That's
There's
why
a
I
lot
told
of
you
people in this
the
industry
most
that don't do
important
it.
thing is to watch trends. That's it.
There's a lot of people in this industry that don't know when to say when, and
that's
it
a
keeps
problem.
them in longer.
That's the same thing again with stocks, right? If you have a loss and you keep losing, you got to know when to cut it. Otherwise, you're too deep down, right? So you're in the hole. You're at the top of the hole, and you keep losing, and you're going deeper into the hole. It's harder to climb out. So what I've learned from trading over the years is when you get into that hole, you cut it immediately, or you're going to go deep into the hole. Same thing with cigars, right? Or any industry. You get too much into a problem, you're fucked.
Oh, you are
putting it straight. You got to cut
absolutely.
it immediately and keep going.
So when somebody comes to
even
you,
if it gives you losses, by the way, even if you're losing, too bad. You made a mistake.
Don't let that mistake bury you.
Don't let that mistake. You got it.
Take the loss. Don't try to fix it all the time. Sometimes take the loss and go. So that's kind of what I'm getting at here. So if someone
here's the word. You ready? Here's the phrase you'll never forget. Live to fight another day.
There's a lot of business owners that don't take that phrase. They think living to fight another day is a failure. Now it is, but a failure is only a failure. Kevin, if you agree with me, tell me, but a failure is only a failure if you let the failure not be learned from.
You have to learn from the failure, but you also have to surrender to win. So if you're wrong, you're surrendering. Now you can win again. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. You have to be willing to admit the loss to kind of get everything back into control, because what you could do is keep sinking.
And you can't get emotional about the loss.
Correct.
That's it.
It's also the kind of gambling. It's right. It's like I'm 3,000 in the hole. I think I could put another 3,000 in the hole and
now you're in the whole
money
10
back.
Now you're in the whole $6,000.
Or just cut my losses at $3,000 and move on. Right. And
but you're afraid. But here's the thing with your body, your mind tells you, no, I can do this. I can do this. I'm not going to cut the losses. I can do this. I can talk myself into it. It's bullshit.
When, in your opinion, is good money after a bad item or good money after a bad goal? When does that hit as a business owner? When do you see that?
So in stocks, it's $5,000. I'm out $5,000. I'm out.
Oh, okay. So you actually have a dollar amount for the stock side.
1,000%.
But as far as business is concerned,
live to fight another day. If I see that the cigar situation is a problem, if I'm making a new cigar and it's not working, I'm out.
Say you got 20 stores in the state. Where would you consider a successful reorder? Half? 75%? Like where do you consider Rockefeller now if you've got 20 stores?
51%.
Okay, so just a little over a half you consider a success with.
Yeah,
that's good.
Because I have that half, then I can build the rest up.
Correct. And quite frankly, sometimes the half that you don't have needed to be culled anyways.
Right. Exactly.
And so that's another spot as a good business owner, is understanding a shop that's not worth you being in. As much as you're like, I want to be in it, if that shop owner's not in it with you, it's not a good shop to be in.
Correct.
And the shop down the road who might sell only 2 boxes a month, but you got to spend every month in the shop to sell 4 boxes a month. Logistically, the shop that sells 2 boxes without you there is a better investment for you as a brand.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's where some people just also.
But I learned that from being on Wall Street, right?
But that's
how much pain am I going to take?
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, you being on Wall Street allows you to separate your emotion from the business.
Correct.
Because it allows you to weather a harder storm than maybe a new entrepreneur. So if I was to come up to you to Kevin Gold's consulting firm 101, and I'm a new business owner, and I was to ask you, what's your 3 laws of success as a new business owner? What would you tell me?
put everything
Richard,
into
this
it.
is for you.
Okay, so first of all, to make sure, so the most important part of a company is management, right? To have a good CEO, have a good product, and have distribution. Those three things are the number one. Period. If one of those things aren't working, fix it. If they don't still working, cut it. It's that simple. Good management, fix it, cut it if it's not working. Those three should make it successful.
How long do you wait?
I'm going to tell you a story. Here we go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So a company, let's take Viacom. That's a good company, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a chance to buy YouTube. They never bought it.
Nope.
Viacom started eroding. That's called a melting ice cube. Once a company starts becoming a melting ice cube because parts of the company are starting to shred, they lose market share. And once they lose market share, they're gone. They're the greatest shorts in the world. It's that simple.
So you take a very much, and again, I love this approach. You take such an emotionalist approach to business.
But it's funny because not in my regular life with my kids. Totally different person.
Totally different.
I have to separate both.
You have to take an emotional or kind of an emotionalist stance to business because you can get your feelings really hurt. You can lose a lot, and
that's what I learned on Wall Street. 4 o'clock, the bell rings, you don't take it home. So growing up, that helped me.
Yes. One of my best things that I did so I've been in sales 25 years now. One of the best things I ever did as an over-the-road sales guy was one of my mentors told me, you leave everything when you shut your door, leave everything in your car. And when 100%. You get in your car in the morning, your car is your psych up and it's your warm down.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people have a very hard time breaking that emotional side of it, and because of that they make stupid decisions. And
that all goes with learning. You know what I mean?
How long did it take you to learn to put no emotion into your decisions, but to put an analytical thought process instead?
Years.
Why did it take you years?
So going back to when I worked on Wall Street, I guess when I had a stock against me, I figured, it'll come back. It'll come back. It'll come back. Forget it. It doesn't come back. Bullshit.
So do you learn to cut it quicker then?
Yeah.
So let me guess.
But I got stuck in the muck. I got stuck.
And is that normal for a lot of business owners that you have found?
Yeah. A lot of people can't get out of it. I can give you 20 different situations where the board even says, no, we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it. Forget it. Here's a new one, Lululemon. Lululemon was tremendous. Tremendous. Everyone was buying Lululemon. Greatest store in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got complacent. And all of a sudden, here comes Aloe, and here comes these other brands. They start gaining market share from them. Well, let's change the CEO. Guess what? You're a little fucking late because you didn't catch it in time. Nike, the same thing. Same thing happened with Nike. They're trying to turn around now, but the same thing happened with Nike. You could go through tons and tons of companies, the same thing. So one thing I do is I try to read a lot about different companies and how they fucked up and how they fixed it. Well, why a company went into bankruptcy and what did they do wrong?
Well,
that's like a hobby of mine.
One of my favorite things. So I actually had Robert Holt on the show.
He's a good dude.
Really good dude. And he actually
fought for our country. Good people.
Very, very good. And he actually got a little upset with me because I kept asking him about his failure. And he actually corrected me on the show, or like jumped me a little bit. He's like, can we not talk? I said, no, because I want everybody to understand it's okay to fail when you learn from it and move forward.
Yeah.
A failure is only a failure. And I've told this to business owners. I've told this to CEOs, CFOs. I've told this dead in the face. A failure is only a failure when you refuse to learn from it and understand what made it a failure and move on.
Right.
A failure will only be a failure if your inability to get around yourself and get over yourself and move past it. If you
Yeah,
sit and think on it, it'll always be there. Who cares?
I agree.
Move on.
Yeah.
And that's where I like having people like you that have been multiple different, but you have had probably, you don't have to admit this or say anything. You probably had more failures than successes, but you've had bigger successes than you've had bigger failures
I've
in
had a
the
lot of
long
failures.
term. Correct.
Yes.
But your
But I've had a-
successes have been bigger long term than your
Yeah.
failures. And that's only happened because you've learned from where you failed.
Right.
And that's where
If I fail, I allow myself to feel sorry for myself for one fucking day. That's it. That's the rule. And then you get out of bed and you fucking work and you do it. That's it.
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
one's doing it for you. That's it. It's that simple.
Absolutely.
One day. That's it. You want to feel sorry for yourself, knock yourself out.
Yep.
And I really don't, but because I've learned not to after a while. But yeah, that's it. One day.
Allow yourself one bottle and get over it.
One bottle, right.
One bottle and get over it. But I love these. I love having people like this, like you on, that can talk about this, because so much of today's people take a failure and stop. And
No,
they
you
have
can't
to
quit.
understand they have to get back on the horse. They
Yeah,
have to
you
keep
can't quit.
riding. You know, and you going from one industry to literally, people probably told you, "What the fuck are you doing, Kevin? Why are you starting a cigar industry?"
They
Like,
absolutely
the
told me that.
quickest way to $1 million in the cigar world is to start with 2. Like,
Right.
like, you know, like so when everybody's telling you don't, what gives you the drive to say, "Screw you, I'm doing it"?
Because it's just my personality. I like when people bet against me. It's fun.
See, the quietest guy in the room is always the one to worry about. And I'll tell you, I've been in a room with Kevin at TGS. He's a quiet guy in the room. There's always the guy to fear is the one that's quiet and confident. And Kevin definitely carries that swagger. So, Kevin, here in closing, what is a rapper that you'd like to work with that you currently don't at Rockefeller?
So we used Sumatra a while ago, and then they had that flood in Ecuador. But I want to start working with Sumatra again.
You haven't done a Cameroon, have you?
Yeah, the box press, the second automatic.
That's right. That's right. Well, was that a Cameroon seed from Cameroon, or
No,
was that
was
a
Ecuadorian. That was Ecuadorian.
Okay. Now,
I like Cameroon.
Would you ever work with an actual straight Cameroon from Africa, Cameroon?
Yeah.
It's just super expensive from what I've been told.
Very expensive wrapper, but yeah.
So if you had a cigar of yours to smoke with any historical figure outside of Jesus, who would it be, and what Rockefeller cigar would you bring?
Winston Churchill, my Dominican box press Habano.
Why Winston? Just because of the cigar reference, or is he a historical character you like?
Just because the cigar reference and his historical character I like.
Sure, absolutely. If you had to go back and save a line of yours that for whatever reason's been discontinued in the last 6-7 years, what would it be?
Maduro Churchill.
Why did you discontinue it?
Because Churchills don't really sell up in the Northeast, but down here they do.
Is that something that you would bring back in the future? Maybe?
I mean, I use it for event only.
Okay.
But it's no longer in a box, but maybe.
What is a country tobacco that you would like to work with that you have
Peru.
Peru. Why?
Or Colombia, because I like Peruvian tobacco. I just never used it yet.
Okay. Is that something that like
Lajero I like too?
Or what, Lajero?
Colombian.
Okay. Is this something that like you're actively researching? You don't have to say which one.
Well, one of them, but not both of them.
Okay. So this is so one of the tobaccos you just mentioned is something we might see in your future relatively.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. Yep.
Okay. Fantastic. And what is your favorite pairing with your favorite Rockefeller cigar? Give us the
So you know, I
exact
don't drink. I haven't had a drink in years, so I
Oh,
don't
no,
drink.
no, I don't mean that's why I'm asking, because some people don't drink alcohol.
Right.
So what is
Probably
your
a
favorite
dark
pairing?
espresso with my Maduro. Gold
Dark
Series.
espresso with your Maduro. I will have to say, so do you like the do you like the cappuccino at Smokin'?
Yeah, it's fire.
So which one of your cigars would go perfect with the cappuccino at
My
Smokin'?
Habano.
Ooh, I could see that. Ooh, I could see that so good.
Or my Dominican Blue Toro.
Okay, okay. Oh, fantastic. So how often are you at Smokin' now? Because you're not very far.
I was there the other day. I mean, maybe a month ago I was there again. I stop by time to time. We got an event at Smoke in Del Rey, which is one of his original stores,
Yep.
franchise stores, and
Yep.
on Saturday for July 4th. That should be good. That should be a fun event.
If Abe gave you the opportunity to do a TGS, would you say yes, or would you be nervous about being able to fulfill it?
What do you mean? We did the teacher. What are you talking about?
No. Like the TGS exclusive releases.
Oh, I'd love to do one.
Would you be nervous about being able to fulfill
I actually
it?
went to him to do it, and he said, "You should tell me this a year ago. You're a year late. We already have them all planned out already, or something like that." He said to me.
So we might see a Rockefeller TGS release.
Yeah, if I push him.
Okay. Well, I think that's awesome. But like that's stuff that a lot of people would be nervous about that are your size, because they're like, do I fulfill this? That's like a huge gamble. Like,
Why is it a
good?
gamble? Wait, well,
Because
so I don't even understand why it's a gamble.
Because some businesses would. I've talked to some. I'm not naming any names.
Yeah,
but they have been like, I'm nervous because if it sucks, it fucks my entire smoking up, and it's kind of like that whole getting out of the way of yourself mentality type deal.
I guess. I mean, I didn't think it was a gamble.
See, this is why Kevin's a,
I mean,
this is why Kevin's a business owner.
I would just plan to put the best cigar in.
So
like we put the Dominican Lancero in this year. The year before, I forgot what we did. Maybe the Maduro Lancero, right? I'll put something good in again. Maybe Massatepe tobacco inside a cigar. I don't know.
Ooh. Is there a size? First off, what is your favorite? Last question of the night. What is your favorite size, and what is the size you currently don't make but would like to?
So my favorite size is Lancero, which I told you. What size don't I make that I'd like to?
Yeah, as far as like a core line release, not a shop exclusive.
Yeah, okay, double perfecto.
Okay, like what you did for Kev.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's not a double perfecto, but a double perfecto. Yeah.
I thought a double perfecto was the shape on both ends. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're right, but that's not. It's just torpedoed at the top. If you look at it.
Oh, I thought he had a shape at the. Oh, yeah, he has a shape at the bottom. I thought that was a perfecto at the bottom.
That is a perfecto, but the top is torpedoed. It's not really.
Oh, I get it. See,
a double perfecto is both ways.
Yes, it's thinner at the top than what you just showed. Yes.
Right.
Well, Kev, I lied. Last question of the night. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And what do you want the cigar industry to remember you both by? And I lied too, because I have one last question at the end of this. But
I see myself sitting in Cuba in Pinar del Rio smoking a cigar with a master blender down there. Okay, what's the next question? That Cuba's free. What's the next question?
When you meet your creator, whoever it is that you might believe in, when you meet your creator, what do you want to hear? And how do you want the cigar industry to remember you by?
So here's something I'm planning on doing. We're putting the groundwork in. So I've been sober almost 42 years. I've helped a lot of people on drugs and alcohol. That to me is more important than anything money in the world. It really is. Right? Money comes, it comes. But that's the most important thing to me. The other thing I want to do is start a 501c3 for autistic kids and special needs kids for riding horses that can't afford to do it. So there's your answer.
Fantastic. No, that's awesome. It comes back to the horses. Well, Kev, thank you so much for being a good friend of the show, for being a good friend of mine, and for genuinely always making me feel like you care about where
Absolutely.
I'm at in life. You have a gift of that, and
Thank
it's
you. I
something
appreciate
that
that. It means a lot.
yeah, it's something I don't give out much because I never feel you're waiting to hear how I'm doing for you to tell me how you're doing. Like genuinely, I love you, brother. You always have a home here. And Richard, next week we have a
I love you back.
TPA show with Ish and Kathy. But genuinely, Kevin, you always have a home here at the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. You know that, brother. I look forward to seeing you at TGS again. And
Great time.
I am so happy that I made you go
I'll tell
negative.
Melanie.
So from the bottom of my heart, brother, thank you so much for coming on. Until we see
Good
you
seeing you,
again,
brother.
smoke as much as you can, smoke as much fucking Rockefeller cigars as you can. Have a great rest